Today we're going to review another album, coming from the UK, from friend of the pod, Kofi Stone. He dropped his third studio album, All the Flowers Have Bloomed, recently. And yeah, it's his third album. If you don't know who Kofi Stone is, he is a rapper from Birmingham, very much in the kind of boom bap, soulful rap, hip hop type vibes. You can find him under artists like Lil Kana, Barney Artist, people like that. His first album in 2019 was Nobody Cares Until Everybody Does, which is great. And then he came back last year with his second album, A Man After God's Own Heart, which was even greater. And yeah, I mean, clearly still riding the momentum from last year, and the creative burst that he's in. He's come with a new album, All the Flowers Have Bloomed. And yeah, it quickly succeeds A Man After God's Own Heart. And it features the likes of Maverick Sabre, Tyler Daly, A.D. Suleiman, and Jacob Banks. It's also produced by Pitch 92, Joyce, Dropped Milk, Joe Caulfield, and Harry Love. And yeah, I mean, if you are hip on Kofi, you'll know that listening to this album, it's very much like the same old Kofi in a lot of ways. You know, the soul samples, the kind of mentally nourishing bars about his growth. He definitely takes it to new levels on this project, just as far as like the emotional scope and the depth of the project. In the project, you know, he's seeking to better himself and those around him. And it's a very metaphorical album, I'd say, because he uses the theme of flowers, and flowers being in bloom and flowers being, you know, grown, as a way to kind of signal his own growth through his mental and physical trials and tribulations. And yeah, the time has come for us to review it. So, who wants to start?
Mohammed.
No, P, you could go.
Yeah, man. Dope album. Dope album, man. I love Kofi Stone, man. He's one of my favorite rappers in the UK. He's one of my favorite rappers, full stop, to be honest with you. And I think first thing that grabbed me was the artwork. I'm someone that really loves artwork in general. I think it can tell a story before listening to any sort of audio soundscapes. And so I loved the artwork, and I think he's on back to back great artworks. If that's even a run, we can make it a run now.
We've made that a run.
Yeah, we'll make that a run. So yeah, man, I love the artwork. So let's start there. It kind of felt like it wasn't too far away from what I've already had from Kofi. It wasn't like a case of him reinventing himself in any way, but I don't necessarily need him to. But it felt like it was the case of him deepening what he's already given. And I think that's what I look for in artists. I don't necessarily need them to make like massive leaps from where they've been to where they currently are. But if you can somehow expand on what you do and how you do it, then I'm all for it, man. And I feel like the production, um, in parts was that. It felt like it kind of was a bit more soulful, actually. Um, it feels like he's expanded on what he's already given us in that respect. And it sounds like an artist that's maturing in real time. Because if you look at how he was rapping and what he was rapping about, on Nobody Cares Until Everybody Does, to A Man After God's Own Heart, yeah, you can just see that there was always potential there. And it just feels like each project is growth and, you know, maturation of him as well. Um, and so, yeah, from that perspective, I just really enjoy the album. I enjoy his perspective. I enjoy him telling me where he's been, where he's at. I enjoy him sharing his process of growth, whether it's through his relationship with God, whether it's through love, whether it's through analyzing, you know, some of his aspirations. I just love hearing him tell it the way he does. I think he's a really good storyteller from that perspective. I think his ability to sort of weave together um, being reflective and being skillful, I don't think is necessarily the easiest thing to do. Because sometimes you can compromise on one if you're trying to give us the other. And my mind automatically goes to Thorns with Jacob Banks, where it's like a 6-minute track of just unadulterated storytelling raps. And in that, the objective, I would believe, is to tell a story, to keep the listener engaged and stuff, which I believe he does. Even though 6 minutes is a long time, I didn't waver from it in any way. I didn't get bored. My attention was purely on what he was telling me, the story he was telling. Um, but I think even in that, his ability to still be skillful with it was actually quite surprising. Because I think when you're telling stories, you might compromise on like giving me like multi-syllable raps. Do you know what I'm saying? Just to kind of drive home the point. And he was able to kind of weave it in and out through the story and still give me the multi-syllable raps as well, which I loved. Jacob Banks, it was good to hear him. I haven't heard him in a while, and I felt like he fit really well on that track. Um, and if I just go through like some of my favorite songs on the album, I thought the album opened beautifully with the intro seeds. And for the life of me, I can't figure out what sample was used. I can't find it. I've heard it before, but I just can't figure out what it is, man. But I just thought it was just a great way to start, man. It was a short song, um, and I think I realized like I like my intros fairly short because I think it opens up the landscape for what's about to come. And if it's an album that's about 40, 50 minutes long, I don't need my intro to be like very long. So it was just a great way to start. And then let's follow up with Rainfall, which was another track that I really loved. And he was barring on it. Like I wrote some lyrics down where he was like, I looked above in his eyes, told him if you're gonna do it, do it. I was full of pride. Thank God he let it slide. Could have seen my mother cry, could have gotten 25, just another brother's life. And he goes on and on and on. And I think that speaks to something as well, man. It took me back to when I was young, full of like bravado and confidence and stuff. And I wasn't really one to want to engage with like times of being fearful in no matter what the experience was. And that particular part of that verse took me back to that time. But what he's talking about and what he's sharing is, yeah, cool. Through all the bravado, there is fear, you know? And I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that vulnerability. I appreciate artists sharing that. And then the next track was Water, which I absolutely loved as well. And it sounded like he was singing on that. And I was actually quite surprised to hear that. And he actually got a good singing voice. Um, so yeah, I enjoyed that track as well. Like the background vocals were great. It sounded a lot like Omar the singer was doing the background vocals. I don't know if it was him or not, but it sounded the background vocals sounded eerily like him. And I really enjoyed it. The tune itself sounded very spiritual. It sounded like it felt like Wade in the Water, I think, was part of the hook, and I mean that's a Negro spiritual in it. So from that perspective, I can kind of see why I connected with it the way I did, and I enjoyed that aspect of it. Venice with Maverick Sabre, it was good to hear Maverick Sabre. He sounded vocally very good. The song itself wasn't one that I loved, but I think Maverick Sabre's his vocals sounding as clean as it did, him singing it in a higher octave as he did, I think gave it like a layer of color that I think the track needed, and I enjoyed it from that perspective. Um, Chamomile with Adi Suleiman as well, that was groovy. The bass line patterns were just they were going all over the place, but I loved it. I thought the hook was great as well. I loved how from an instrumentation standpoint, the drum patterns were used as well, man. Like it felt like there was something specific very like done with the hi-hat that I really, really loved. And I think that song re-emphasized for me how good Kofi is at the love song. When it comes to making songs that appeal to women, he doesn't ever do it in a corny way. And that's something, even I'm someone that loves bars, man. I love my rappers to bar. And I know I'm always gonna get that from him. But I also look forward to like the tunes that, chat to the ladies as well. My mind goes to After Hours on his first project, and albums and songs like that kind of they really pull me in, man. I love that. I love my rappers to mix in a bit of, soulful love with bars, which he's able to do. Um, Cactus as well, very groovy, jiggy. It kind of felt like boom bap meets Soul Train. And I loved that. I thought it was kind of interesting to place that song where he did. But nonetheless, I liked the song. Flowers Flow. I thought his double time flow on that was mad. It kind of reminded me of like Jay with Jazzo on Jigga What. I love that tune. Um, And yeah, I thought Kofi was flowing his arse off on that, man. My favorite song on that album is Marigold with Tyler Daly, which made me feel like I need another Children of Zeus album. And that's again another emphasis of just how well Kofi does with making songs that have sensibilities that talk to the women, man. So I think those are like my favorite songs on the album. Pansy, I didn't really care for like that along with Boats. But they were cool. I thought they kind of slowed the tempo down of the project, which I'm not too mad at, but just as far as my listening experience, it didn't feel like songs I needed to pay close attention to. So yeah, overall, man, I thought it was a dope album, man. I loved it, man. I loved hearing where he was at. Um, yeah, I loved the album.
Hear it, hear it. I mean, I can go next. It is just kind of proving to me that he is building a really great catalog, and to the point of artwork. If you just put all of his albums together and you see the artwork, it's almost like you can kind of see like the journey. Like he's on the first album, it's like he's a busker. Like it's like a drawing of him as a busker, just like performing in the street. And then a man after God's own heart, he's being baptized. And now all the flowers have bloomed. He's actually like a gardener, like watering a garden in the artwork. So it's almost like a metaphorical symbol of his kind of growth in that way. So yeah, it kind of just shows that attention to detail. I think musically the album is really great. I think, yeah, I mean, to Peter's point, he really dug into the soulful bag. So when the first album comes on, funny, Nia just messages saying that the Kofi album is phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, you hear Seeds, you immediately hear that, you hear the soul, you hear the depth, you hear the warmth. I don't know if that's like the influence of like other producers, but I know that before the album dropped, he dropped a 2-piece with Chuck Strangers, and it was very much the same vibe. Very much the same vibe. The linen shirt, especially. Like if you want to know what that kind of vibe is like, then you'll listen to the linen shirt, and then you'll listen to Seeds, and you'll say, okay, this is what he's on. This is kind of like a new phase for him. Really digging into like more of the soulful aspects of it. So which is really, really good. So it sets a tone, 100%. And then Rainfall was great. I mean, if we just think about like what he's talking about, getting run up on with a knife, his mental breakdown, the people around him only being interested in what he brings to them, monetarily or materially, the physical and emotional perils of his life. So he's very much like vulnerable here. And I think that's like a key thread throughout the album. Maybe not as much as like other albums, but it's very pertinent here. Like he's really like laying himself bare and talking about the kind of trials and tribulations that he's had to kind of go through. And then even to the point of like Thorns, and just talking about like having kind of like a bird's eye view of what everyday people's problems are, like each verse is like a different narrative. You have the single mother, you have, the guy that, everyone is kind of abandoned, and, he's got someone in his voice talking about maybe you should commit suicide. Maybe it's better if you do pass away, sort of thing. And obviously these are things that affect all of us, right? Like in one way, shape or form. So yeah, I feel like just in terms of the emotional depth of this album, I think it's so strong. He shows an emotional maturity that can only come with like, I suppose, age, going through things, and really assessing what they've done to him. So it feels like he's really done the work personally, and it's really translated into the music as well. So Thorns as a whole, I really loved that song. And fun fact about that song, if we take it back to Afro Surrealist's album by British, the song A Day in the Life uses the same sample. So
sure.
Yeah, so the last tune with Brooklyn, Lodovico, same sample. Yeah, in good hands. And then you go to Water. I mean, yeah, it's representative of a key theme of the album, and his struggles to kind of find peace of mind in an environment where his mental health had kind of taken a beating of sorts. Yeah, I mean, I even liked him singing as well. I think he was like, it was well placed. He didn't try to do too much. The background vocals were great as well. And yeah, it did feel spiritual. It felt like, it felt like dusk, and like you're already just you're up just like walking through like, I don't know, like a beach or a field, just trying to find yourself. That's what I kind of got. That's what I kind of took from that. So that was great. Just funky as hell. And it kind of just get. And another thing I love about this album is like the flows. Some of the flows on this album. Like I think with like Dave's album, with Kofi's album, with Nux's album, with Sibo's album, they're really paying attention to like flows and delivery, and it's really, really, really showing. Like with Cactus, like it really is a prime example of like his variety. Now, obviously, we've seen all the like the songs in his flow series where he just basically like it's a different flow pretty much every time, and we love that about him. But that song kind of more like hard hitting, kind of more boom bappy stuff, and this is that kind of more funky stuff, and it kind of just shows how versatile he is over any kind of production. So that was really, really sick. And even
that song reminded me of there's a flutist called Bobby Humphreys. Currency's like rapped over a bunch of her stuff, and yeah, that song gave me that feel. And his ability to just flow on that, tap dance all over that, yeah, man, massive rating.
100%. I mean, there was a point where I think he was doing the rhyme pattern where he was ending everything with O. And I heard Busta Rhymes. I heard Busta Rhymes inflections, put your hands where my eyes can see. Or I think that's what the song is, where he's like ending every bar with O.
It is.
Yeah.
That's
What
exactly
saying,
what I got from
it. Yeah. That's exactly what I got. And I loved it. Anytime I can hear Busta Rhymes in someone, like, yeah, I'm excited. And then we go to like Flowers Flow. Again, incredible rapping. I felt like at times I heard like grime flows. Like I heard a little something there, you know what I mean? And clearly, yeah, again, it kind of just goes to show he's a student, right? Is it my favorite flow song? Probably not. Like, but to be fair, we've had Busker Flow for years. King David Flow was great. Even Child of God Flow, that Lucy, amazing as well. So yeah, it's going up against like bangers. So yeah, but he definitely like did a tit. So yeah, that was great. Pansy, I thought that was a really sweet track. I think I appreciated the symbolism of it, especially at the end where, you know, it's a voicemail from his dad talking about how proud he is of Kofi. And it's come at a part in the album where the flowers haven't necessarily bloomed as far as like his full-on growth is in full display, but it's getting there. And Pansy kind of pushes that narrative forward in a sense, kind of giving him the confidence to know that he did make a great decision with his life and his career and stuff, and his family and the people around him are proud. So I love that. Boats, yeah, I think that also sums up some of the key messages of this album as well, like having the patience to kind of reach where you want to be at physically and mentally. And yeah, that was a great portrait of that as well. Obviously spoken about Thorns as well. Jacob Banks was great. His hook, he was like, despair won't pay the bills. And it's like, that was so poignant because it's like, yeah, cool, you're going through something, but life is lifing. You need to snap yourself out of it. It's almost like you're trying to snap yourself out of these kind of, let's be real, like toxic, especially on males and like men, like these toxic ideals that you just have to get on with it, even if you're struggling physically and mentally, especially mentally. And that was like a nice like callback to that, while he's also like portraying all of these daily struggles for these characters. So that juxtaposition I really loved as well. And then the final track, the title track, again, funky stuff. Really, really liked that as well. Like it just seemed like he was like, having a bit of fun with it. Like I'm pretty sure. Hey, listen, if Kofi Stone, if that song makes it to a undisclosed birthday party in the next month, then I won't be surprised.
Yeah, man.
So, you know, hey,
I was
man,
thinking
listen,
the same thing.
bro. Like, listen, a certain DJ might have to pull that up on his set, but you know, shout out to him. But yeah, so it was just one of those ones. Like you can really hear that. Close your eyes and hear that, and you can think like, yeah, Don Cornelius will probably like this too. So yeah, no, I like that as well. But overall, man, this is a really nourishing listening, man. Kofi's just a great MC. He's really proven that.
Yeah,
he has yet to miss. He has yet to miss. And yeah, man, 3 for 3. He's 3 for 3, man. He's quietly building a really, really great catalog. And yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see where he kind of takes this next. And I guess it'll also be interesting to see if he carries on this kind of trajectory that he's on, as far as obviously he released last year, he's released this year. Does he take a break? Does he keep it going? I mean, shit, I saw him doing flipping BBC Sport predictions with Chris Sutton just yesterday. So I think he's slowly but surely creeping into that area of like relevance and attention that maybe will be like, okay, maybe he needs to stick around a bit more. But no, the future will have that, will decide that for us. But no, big up Kofi, man. This is a great album. In terms of the UK, it's definitely one of the best of the year. Heavy replay value as well, especially for topics as heavy as they are. I didn't even talk about what's the plan. What's the plan? Incredible song. You know, you guys know that's my bag. But yeah, shout out to that song. Shout out to that song and shout out to Kofi as well, man.
Yeah, I missed that song out as well, man. Yeah, it's funny when I heard that. I was like, well, that's Yemi, man. When I think about Yemi's aesthetic, that's Yemi's aesthetic right there, man.
As soon as I heard it, I was like, the Crip is gonna get jiggy to this. So the Crip is gonna hit. I was like, this is Yemi's bag. But yeah.
Okay.
But you wait, Mo, before you jump in here, do you man see like a link between like the titles of the songs?
Can you let me land? Because I'm gonna go somewhere with this.
Sorry, go.
Cool. So
sorry, man, my apologies.
So I wrote this down.
Brother.
I wrote this down, yeah. I personally wrote this down. This is the man that gave you the Kendrick analogy. The one that said my city. And wallahi, you guys are gonna think I'm kidding when I say this. I've been thinking about, because I'm gonna talk about his album, but you guys talk the crux of it, but I am gonna get into it. But I want to talk about, you get me, the totality of what's going on here with my brother Kofi Stone. So I've been thinking, what is the connect between all three albums? So I listened to all three albums again, and I was like, there has to be some sort of connect. So this is what I've said. Are you ready for this here? Because I wrote this down. So you know the first album, Nobody Cares Till Everybody Does. I've wrote, that's Kofi finding himself. Then his second album, A Man After God's Own Heart, I've got, that's him fighting himself. And then for this album, All the Flowers Have Bloomed, I've generally wrote, that's Kofi understanding himself. No, Yemi, give that to me. Don't even make that like, bro. Like,
no, I hear it.
I'm not smiling on a like, thing. I was like, yeah, it actually makes sense. Like you're
because because I rarely do this, but when the album dropped, I was like, he does a thing where the titles are very specific, the cover is very specific, and also the song choice is very specific, like the word, what the song's called. He doesn't go for your very everyday kind of title. Like, you know how normally people do, what's the word that we repeat 5 times? That's the word we repeat 5 times, made at the title track. He doesn't do that. So I was like, what's the connection? So the way I've looked at it is, he's given us a new path of himself every time. The first time was, and when I went back to it, I was like, yeah, this is him finding himself. That was more, I wouldn't say he kept it more, not hip-hop, but like it wasn't just more as experimental as with the jazz now, with everything that he does now. I don't think he was doing that in 2019 as much as he's doing it now, where now the trust is in himself. And then even the previous one to that, to me, that was just him fighting himself. And this album is just him understanding everything. Like, that's the main crux of what I got. I think he's just now understanding where he belongs, understanding what he's been through, understanding trials and tribulations that he's seen in his life. Blessings. So I just want people to know that's one bastard that said, finding himself, fighting himself, understanding himself. Todd DeMarco for me. Now, the album. The album itself, I fuck with the album, man. Like, with me, I thoroughly enjoy Journeys, but there was this was a tough listen. There was times where I was like, this is a lot. Like, I know the first time I sat through Thorns, I think I had to pause, because I was just like, it's a lot going on, because I think there was a period where he potentially spoke about suicide and just the vulnerability in that. I could be wrong, but I just felt like there was a bar where he spoke about it. And I was like, this is very much, you're laying everything on the table, and you're letting me know why you're laying everything on the table. So I feel he does it in a smart way, but there was times where you listen to his lyrics, you're like, this is not a tough listen, because it's still jiggy. It's still bops. It's still, you don't need to sit down. He does it in a smart way, where there's a phrasing where it's like, if you want people to learn something, like wrap something around, Pete would most probably know what it is. I forgot what the saying is, but it's like, you know the saying where it's like, if you want people to learn, you're gonna have to put something into something. I forgot what it was, but like, let's just say I want you to eat healthy, and I'll put fruit in your chocolate. It's just a smart way of you getting to eat healthy without really making you eat healthy. But it's mind games, isn't it? And I feel like that's what he done. He laid off a lot of heavy topics just in a very smart way. But I was like you, when I first heard Seeds, I was like, yeah, I like this. I like where it's headed towards because I've thoroughly fucked with it. When it got to Rainfall, I was like, no pun intended, this is where the weather's turning. Like, this is where there's a bit of turn coming here. Where are we going with this? I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, genuinely, I was like, this is a bit of a change here. And then but I fucked with it. Honestly, to me, lyrically it was heavy. The beat felt heavier, but it was cold to me. Venice was the shift for me a little bit anyway. I just felt like it was a little bit lighter for maybe one or two songs once that song came through. So Venice, I thoroughly enjoyed. I can't lie. Maverick Sabre, that's Pete's bag. I feel like. But it worked. Like, I can't fault it. I'm picking out straws if I say anything about Maverick Sabre. That was the first time I think in the album where it was just like I don't want to say there's something to live for, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. That's what I felt like this song gave me. Not in terms of the album. The album was cold regardless. His perspective, I feel like that was him saying that I went through everything I went through, but that was the song where it was just like, all right, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And he was telling us in real time on the song of like, I'm going to make it to the other side after telling us everything that he's been through. Personally, that's what I just felt like. Is it AD Suleiman?
I believe so.
Thank you very much, because I knew you would know, innit? That was cool. That was a nice song as well. That again felt like a kind of an emotional reset to me to a certain degree. It just bring me. He done a nice. Do you know what I like the most about this Kofi album? He done a nice, and I don't know if I'm using the word in the right context, but it was a nice. He cleansed the palette quite a lot. Where if it's heavy, he'll give you two songs where it'll bring the mood back a little bit down, rather than keeping it consistently Mother I Sober for 9-10 songs. Like, he didn't Mother I Sober the settings for like 9-10 songs. He just kind of, I don't know why you're smiling, I'll be for real. He didn't, it was a very, like, he cleansed my palette well, so I didn't have to really, he didn't take me to a dark place consistently, whilst he was still rapping about the same topics though. But he knew what productions to pick. He knew what beats to pick. He just didn't keep it dark throughout the same like level throughout the whole album. I'm like you, man. I fucked with Cactus. I
Shout out
fucked
to
with What's the
Dave.
Plan as well. Actually, that's a perfect example, because I feel like that's where, you know what? Let's speak about that, because I feel like that was the disconnect between this and the Dave album to me. Because Dave didn't do what I literally just mentioned that Kofi done. Kofi done a thing where he knows how to reset it. He knows how to give you a palette reset, or just, he knows how to, he's very good at getting the message across, and he'll give you a heavier song with maybe the production not, what's Pete, where you trying to go, Pete? Because you're shaking your
Brother,
head.
why are we comparing? Don't even bring Dave's album into this, bro. Two completely different artists and two completely
Okay.
different journeys in two
Okay.
completely different places. I don't think it's fair. Don't let Yemi
That's
egg
fair.
you on, you know. Don't let Yemi egg you on, bro.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah,
Yemi
you
knew,
understood what I was saying,
Yemi knew
alright?
what he was doing. Yemi knew what he was
Yeah,
doing.
he definitely knew what he was doing.
Look
And
at
me
villain.
personally, sometimes, look, it's the blue. It's the blue.
Looking like Tukey Williams, fam.
Who?
Tukey Williams.
That guy, one of the co-founders of the Crips, fam.
One of the co-founders of the Crips.
I feel like
You
this
went dope.
jacket immediately like cancels me out. But no, I mean, listen, I wasn't even trying to.
I feel like
I was-
Hoover's, actually, technically, you know why your Hoover's wear that color. So you're kind of low-key Crip.
Don't do that. Don't do that. This is like, I don't even know what this color is, but it looks orange on screen.
That's what
but it's
Hoover's
not.
wear.
Do Hoover's were orange.
Damn.
What was you going to say though, Yemi?
Because Seabod did it, and I feel like Kofi's done it too.
And I feel like
I personally can't say the same for Dave.
And I feel like that's what Kofi done. And I feel like that's what Kofi done to a very good degree. And to me, it's all about balance, and it's all about mood levels, innit? Like, you know, when you've got a heavy album, how to change moods. Because sometimes if it's too like that, then your mind's just going to be there throughout the whole album. And I feel like Kofi knows how to control a mood change. And I feel like that's rare when it comes to albums, especially to change someone's mood throughout the whole album. I think is one of the greatest things you could do. But the whole album to me was just a character arc. Like, it just let me know kind of what he's been through, where he's at now. And to me, Fawns is such a great written song, to me, man. It's such a well written song. Like, and this Yemi's gonna feel like I'm trying to be too smart here, but the gravitas of what he's speaking about, like the gravitas, like the heaviness of what he's trying to, Pete, I have to do this one episode, at least once an episode. I'm gonna start throwing out words out there that you might ain't ready for. But
Why did you say my name?
Because I knew
Oh,
it as
grab a
soon as I said
chance.
that. You know why? Yo, Pete, what did I say last time? And I said Yemi's name before I said the word.
I can't even remember, man.
But like every time, I remember once I think I said on the other hand, and then Yemi goes on the other hand.
Yeah, 4 years ago. Bro, Peter did it just now and he did it last week. What are we doing here? Why are you saying my
you
name?
know how cheeky it is to say on the other hand, like I said a mad word. But honestly, with Fawns,
This is racism, man.
Fawns to me is such a heavy. Like I can't listen to Fawns a lot, you man. I just can't. Like it's just not a song I could go back to a lot in it. But the reason why I keep mentioning it is because I just felt like what he was speaking about on that, and the sincerity and the transparency he came with in that song. Nothing more than I just want to give him his flowers for it, honestly, because the transparency he gave me in Fawns, he didn't have to. But overall with the album, bro, Kofi's special, man. And I feel like as the UK as a whole, it's not a surprising factor when we make good albums. We've just got to embrace it. We've clocked how to do it. We're doing it on a consistent level. And there's too many of us doing it. Like, it's just, we know how to make albums. These artists that come out the UK now, it's not how it was 07, 08, 2010, 11, 12, 13. Having a good album in the UK is not rare anymore. It's not, we should always celebrate it. Don't get me wrong, we should always celebrate it. But their IQ now is different. We have to give them their flowers. I feel like the UK we've got it, the formula now. There's no more excuses of like, we don't know how to put an album together. We don't know how to sonically make it work. We don't know how to, nah, man, nah. And with Kofi, I don't want to say he's 3 for 3, but might be 3 for 3, man. Like
No,
the
he is 3
growth
for
in
3.
each album.
He is
Yeah,
3
the
for
growth.
3.
Like I went back and went to go listen to his first and second album. Obviously, we've talked to Kofi before, so I've listened to his albums before. It's not the first time. But when I see the growth on it, and I can see that the first album, it was just, I don't want to say it was just basic, like it was just not basic, but like it was just more, you weren't testing yourself out as much as you are now. You said it yourself, you thought you were singing in one of the songs. The emotional side of it, he's testing himself way more now than he did when his first album dropped. And bro, you've got to give someone his flowers. I just think it's a cold album. That's a very heavy album as well. And I don't want to bring up Dave again, but it's a nuanced and a very tricky thing to do. It's not hard to spill out your emotions and also make it an enjoyable listen. I feel like that's what he did.
I think for me, like I always thought it would take a lot for him to make an album better than A Man After God's Own Heart. For me, that's magnum opus right there, isn't it? But this album though,
see, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, man.
I'm not there yet. I'm still.
It's very good, man. This album's very good.
I want to be it because I mess with Kofi heavy. I don't think I'm there yet. I'll be real. I just don't think I'm there yet. A Man After God's Own Heart to me is, bro, that's one of the ones we're going to be talking about 10, 15 years from now when we talk about UK albums, isn't it? And also I just want to give it time. I've only listened to it, 4 or 5 times. I really want to, do you know what I mean?
But can we also appreciate how the roles have reversed? Usually it's me and Mo talking about this is a classic, this is magnum opus, and we're like being like, not just yet. This brother Peter now is on this whole, right now.
I said,
he's ready to jump out the window here.
No, wait, hold on. I said this is his magnum opus. That's what I said. There's nothing wrong with me saying that. I think based on the albums that I've heard from him, that's my stance. That was his magnum opus. And I said this album is very good. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's better than After God's Own Heart, but this album
You think it is?
This album's very good, man. I'm not there yet, but his album's very good, man. So we'll see. Ask me in like 6 months.
It's up there. I think for me, it's hard because they're both like really replayable. So it's like, yeah, it's like trying to pick your favorite kid, isn't it? Like out of 4, like it's mad. But no, man, it's great. It is great, and ultimately he's just leveling up every time, and that's what you want from your artist. And again, to what Peter said earlier, like you don't necessarily have to like do completely different topics, completely different perspective necessarily, but as long as you stay at a level and you're perfecting that level, then you can only get better, really. Yeah, man, I really appreciate that about him as well. What's some of your favorite tracks, boys?
I've got it here.
Seeds, rainfall. Give me chamomile. Give me marigold. And cactus. Flowers.
I was gonna say cactus.
Water. Shit. Might as well say the whole fucking thing.
Yeah. Facts.
Swear jar.
My bad. You're right. Right.
I've got seeds, rainfall, water. What's the plan? And cactus for now. The only reason why I'm not saying moist because I don't want to. I just don't want to not name the whole album and go crazy with it. So those are the ones I want to stick with. What's the plan is fire. Yeah, me?
Yeah, man. What's the plan? Of course. Water, hours flow, seeds, and all the flowers have bloomed. Honorable mention to cactus as well. Cactus is groovy. Like even just listening to it again before we started, I was like, do I want to move this into my top 5? But nah, my top 5 has been cemented for a while. But it's right there. It's like 5. If like all the flowers have bloomed is 5A, then cactus is 5B. So, yeah, man. And your star ratings, boys. I'm gonna just go out there and say it's 4 stars for me. It's a great album.
4 stars for me as well.
I want to continue being that guy that's very harsh. I'm enjoying this role. So I'm going to give it. It's no problem now. You have to stay consistent with these ratings.
Well, this is what I was gonna say. Like, there's being harsh and there's being constructive and there's also being stupid.
Fair. Yeah.
Or I think anything.
No.
If you're gonna say like a 3, then that's where like
No,
you're
bro,
bugging.
no, that's impossible. Do you know what it is? Just to be different, I was going to say 3.8, but that's just to be like, hey.
Moving that pitchfork, man.
3.8.
Yeah, like just to be, hey, look, guys, we're different here.
I mean, if you want.
But honestly, I'm going to give it a 3.8. I'm going to give it a 3.8.
Okay.
But, yeah.
If you were to put a word next to that, what would that be? Would it be like average, above average, good?
What, next to the album?
Yeah, because 4 for me is very good.
Same.
So what's the 3.8 for you? I think that's very good as well.
It's not. It's just
say,
it's like good. It's like
above good.
whatever's between good and very good.
Maybe quite good.
That's what it is, basically.
Quite good, maybe.
But it's closer to very good than it is to, quite good. But it's closer to very good than it is to good. Do we agree?
Yeah, but quite good sounds like you're not sure if it's good.
No, but it's closer to very good than it is to anything else.
So then just give it a very good.
That's what I'm doing.
3.8 isn't very good.
I think it is, personally. Out of 5. I think 3.8 out of 5 is
subjective,
very
right? It's subjective.
Yeah, I think. Because
We can round it
4.5
up.
to 5 is...
Yo, Mo
round
is
it up.
moving militant on these ratings, you know. He's not really trying to like...
You know why, though? You know why?
Go on.
Think about the ratings we've given out already, yeah?
What did you give Nuts' album?
3.5.
What did you give Sibo's album?
4.
4, I believe. Yeah. I gave Seaball 4, Nuts 3.5, and this one 3.8.
Fair enough.
Because you know why as well? It's going to get to a point where I'm telling you, man, you put yourselves in a pickle. Telling you, man.
Not really,
you
man.
put yourself in a pickle. You put yourself in a pickle.
I don't think so,
Right.
man.
Alright.
I'll call it as I see it,
bro.
man.
I saw Benzino's give himself a 5 mic. I'm telling you, man. You put yourselves in a pickle.
That's Benzino. We ain't making albums.
And also, we're not rating Benzino. We're rating like very credible rappers and MCs. Just saying.
I didn't think that far ahead.
Like, we're not reviewing a riff rap
No, but
album.
honestly, true. No, but honestly, this album is. When did we get so good, man? Like, when did this? No, but I know that. But when did this bro? You need to understand. We've done 3 album reviews in the last 2 weeks, and they've been dope. Like, it's just, when did we become this? Like, when did we become Hayland Academy of albums? Like, it's just, maybe I'm overthinking it, but we've lived it in real time of the growth.
Bro, like, we were getting Boy in a Corner in, like, fucking...
But it weren't this regular.
What was it?
Yeah, but it wasn't this regular.
That's not the point. You're talking about
It
album.
is the point.
No, it isn't. You're talking about album making, right? You're talking about quality albums. When have we
On a consistent level.
Hold on. When have we produced quality albums? Quality albums have been there, is my point.
I don't disagree. I don't think, I'm talking about as consistent. I'm talking about now it's regular.
But consistency, but the quantity. If you're measuring the quantity of it along with like the quality, yeah,
The
that's
quality, yeah,
but that's to do with what's happening in the scene at the time.
yeah, and that's all I'm propping. I'm just like, because we've lived it in real time where now the quality and the quantity is matching up. Before the quality and the quantity, there was a bit of a gap. The quantity was there, but I don't know if the album quality was there. Now it's starting to become a mirror match, and we've lived that
This is
transition.
this is probably a topic. This is probably a topic.
Yeah, because we've lived that transition in real life. But yeah, that's definitely a topic, I think.
But big ups Kofi. Listen, another great album, and yeah, man, he's getting better, and we love to see it. So what I say
Scary,
about that.
scary.
Word.
Only better Kofi is Kingston.
We'll have to fact check that, but I'll let you have it. Why not?
I don't believe that, man. I don't believe that.
All right, man. All right.